Alright, so I'm gonna start off by priming my eyes like always. I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. So I always either use a primer or concealer to prime my eyes. Only difference today, I'm not gonna set it with translucent powder or any type of powder. I'm just gonna blend it out, make sure that's like distributed evenly onto my lid. And then I'm just gonna let it be. I have done this before and I just feel like it makes the colors pop a lot better. Of course, depending on the shadow, you might have to work a little bit more, but you just gotta work with the flick of the wrist. So I'm gonna go in with 3 different palettes today, just because I have so many palettes and I try to get as much use as each of them as possible. First palette I'm gonna go in with, the only shade I'm using from this palette is this one called Saturn. It's a nice like peachy terracotta orange. It's a really nice transition shade. Going with a fluffy blending brush. This is the Morphe M505. And like I said, it's going to be our transition shade, so you want this to be a little bit above your crease. That way it peeks through. So when I don't set my shadow, I like to kind of like pack the color on, and then I like blending. So I'm just going to use a little bit of tape just to give me that crisp line. You know, I got some new tape. Look at this cute ass holographic tape. I needed like a reason to buy it, and I was just like, I can use it when I do makeup. That's me when I go to Target. I literally find random ass shit and I'm like, you know, I need this. I need this when I boom boom boom. No. No. Oh my god. Ah! So yes, I'm gonna start off on the outer corner and then take it into my inner corner, and then I'm just gonna back and forth windshield wiper motions, and I kind of like to swirl it just because, like I said, I didn't set my lid, so it's gonna take a little bit more work, but the color comes out so much better. And then you can always go in with a fluffy blending brush and just like clean around the edges. Nothing on this, it just helps diffuse the edges a little bit more. And me personally, what I've been doing is just bringing my eyeshadow closer to my eyebrow right here. Just feel like it makes it more intense. So I don't know, that's what I've been doing lately. My hair is a mess. I want to get a pixie cut so bad. I'm just looking for the right person to cut my hair. And then my friend, we were talking the other day and she was like, you have the perfect head shape for a pixie cut. And I was just like, wow. It's a sign, because I didn't even like tell her that I wanted to do that. It's a sign, you know, get it done. So I'm gonna be going bald. Most of the time I just sleek down my hair anyway, so it's like I kind of already always do a pixie cut, but there's the little one in the back, so I don't know, but I really want to get it. Alright, and the main palette that I'm going to be using is the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place. This is such a good palette. I love it. I would highly recommend it. This brown right here, I love this brown. Like, in my opinion, this is such a unique brown. I love it. So that's the brown I'm going to go in with. And I'm going to go in with a brush that's a little bit more precise, Morphe M433. I feel like these are the same brushes I use all the time. And this is what's going to define my crease a little bit more. So I'm going to start off on the outer right here. Kind of like placing it, and then I'm going to take it in. And then same thing, back and forth. Windshield wiper motions. And if you feel like that color is taking over the transition, you can always go back in with that transition shade and just sweep it over. Just to add the gradient back. Because, yeah, it can get lost once you start adding colors. And then just to start deepening the color up a little bit more, make it start making it look a little dark, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M506. This is starting to become my new favorite brush for like detailed work. It's just so small, but it has like a taper and it just fits into your crease. Like, going in with that same brown, I'm gonna start packing it on my outer corner, but then I'm gonna take it into my crease. But that's pretty much it. And if you get any on your lid, that's fine, because I'm gonna end up cutting it with concealer. And then to diffuse that harsh line, you want to go in, this is another Morphe M433. It's clean, so that way I can go back in with the first shade from the Anastasia palette and go over it right here. That way I can get precisely in here to diffuse that color. And then you just want to keep building it up until it's pretty deep, because after this we're gonna go in with a dark blue. But now that that's hella deep, we got a nice little color going, I'm gonna go in with this palette. This is by Profusion and it's the Royals palette. So I got this from Target and I did a poll on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, and I was like, which one do you guys like more? And this one, it was between this one and another like all shimmer palette. Me personally, I really like this one just because of this blue right here, like this nice navy blue, and then this shade right here, which looks white, but when you swatch it, it's like iridescent purple. So I was like, yeah. And this one won, so I was excited. But personally, I would have gotten both, but I was like, you know what, girl, have self-control. It was only $5 though. So if you go to Target, they have hella palettes. They have like a warm palette, one that looks like this, an all shimmer palette, and yeah, it's okay for $5. It's okay. I'm gonna go in with this blue shade right here, of course, and with that same Morphe M506. I'm gonna start packing this shade on the outer right here, and it's just gonna start giving me that depth. So I'm gonna pack it first, and then I'm gonna start wiggling my brush back and forth. And you don't want to take this up too high. Just keep it right here. It's gonna like define that outer V. Once you have packed this on, like you think it's okay and you don't have that much product, you can start going forward onto your crease. And then once you have a little bit of product left on your brush, you kind of just want to take it out, start winging it a little. Go back in with the brown. Just kind of like diffuse that line. And then with my fluffy blending brush, I'm going to go in with the first shade that I went in with. I'm going to cut my crease, and I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, any concealer that you have. You guys know the drill. You see me cut my crease hella times. To set it, I'm going to go into the same masquerade palette. I'm going to use this blue right here. This is going to be our first base to kind of just like set the shadow. I'm gonna wet my brush and I'm gonna dip back into that color and just do like a second layer with a wet brush, and you'll see that it just like boom. And then for the second layer, I'm not gonna put the second layer here because I'm gonna put a different color there. So you just want to concentrate this like on the first 1/3 of your eye. For this second part, I'm gonna go in with the blue right next to it, like this. It's a little deeper blue. So I wet my brush and I'm gonna place this right here, because when I was doing this eye, I realized that the light blue needed like a second color just to go into that deeper blue. So I was like, let me just add that other blue. So it's kind of like a gradient, you know. Go in back into the dark blue and just pack it on the outer. This is just bringing it back to life, I guess. And then from there, I'm just gonna pack on a little bit more of that dark blue. Just gonna go back in with the light blue at the very beginning. You can always go back in and diffuse the edges of the blue. That's pretty much the top of the eyes done. Ooh, girl. I'm gonna do my face off camera and then I'm gonna come back and finish off the lower lash line. I feel like with these looks, once you do the lower lash line and add lashes, it just like comes together and it looks better. So yeah, I'll be right back. So for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna take the dark blue and just kind of like complete what I have there. Just connect it with the top and just bring it down here. Fill in anything you have to fill in. And I'm gonna take the first shade, the transition shade that we went in with, and just kind of like smudge that. Run it along down here. Just kind of slightly run it through the edge of that. And then I'm gonna take my fluffy blending brush, going like this, and just kind of like running it here, because I still want it to have like a little harshness, but have it blend out. I was watching Jaclyn Hill's new tutorial and I saw that she did this little trick with her translucent powder, so I'm gonna take my translucent powder, take a small detail brush and run it right in here. That kind of just diffuses that harsh line that was there before, and it just kind of like brings it all together. I was like, oh girl, I'm gonna have to try that. So yeah, it works, it looks nice. I'm gonna take this Milani liquid lipstick in Craze and I'm gonna add that on my waterline. And then when I added that neon, I was like, yo, that would look so nice if I outlined this right here a little bit. So I'm gonna take my angled brush, my MAC 263, with the same liquid lipstick. I'm just gonna outline the inner part of the cut crease. And I'm just gonna tight line my eyes with the black eyeliner. And I'm gonna add some mascara, the Maybelline Big Shot Mascara. For lashes, I'm gonna go in with these from AliExpress. I always leave the direct link to stuff like that down in the description box. I'm going in with my favorite highlight of all time. Nothing beats my Macro Darling. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of that on my inner corner. And then I'm gonna put some on my brow bone. I love just highlighting this right here. My favorite part of my makeup routine is this. That right there. For my lips, I was gonna do a nude like always, probably gonna go in with London, but when I added that pink in the waterline and that little line up there, I was like, let's do it. Let's just go all in. I'm gonna use the same Milani liquid lipstick. This one is in Craze. You only live once, do whatever the fuck you want. And that's with everything. If you want to wear a bright bold lip, do it. If you want to wear a blue lip, do it.
Do it! Just do it!
Because I wear crazy colors to like work and stuff like that, and there's always like women that come up and tell me, they're like, oh, I would never be able to wear like a blue lip or a black lip or purple lip. And it's like, you know, the only difference between me and you is that I actually wear the color. So do what you want. It's makeup, it comes off. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. Both eyes, both lips. Who is she? Who is she? But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye guys.